Yes. If you don't do what we tell you to, we will blow this plane out of the sky.
Abate knows he's trapped. If he fights the hijackers, they may blow up his plane. If he does what they want, he'll run out of fuel.
My feeling tells me that it's not a real bomb, but there is no way that I can challenge that. One of them has a fire axe. That was good enough to do serious damage. You know, if I'm not alive, everybody's not alive. That's it.
I want to talk to the passengers.
After about half an hour, the hijackers came on the public address system and they made an announcement that they have taken over the plane. And if anybody tried anything, they had one bomb and they were going to blow it up.
The announcement is made in Amharic, French, and English.
The policy at that time was we should follow the hijackers' instruction. That was before 9/11. And every action taken is to be taken on ground, not in flight. Pilots are trained to fly, not to fight.
We were following sort of the standard script, as it were, for passengers, which was to stay out of it, keep quiet, keep cool, let them sort it out, get the plane on the ground.
Some people said, oh, maybe we'll go to Sudan, land there, negotiate, and maybe they'll release us after that, or if not, move on to some other place. But it was all speculation.
For years, Clint Van Zandt was the FBI's chief hostage negotiator.
What made this hijacking so unique is that the pilot in command had been the victim of 2 previous hijackings. His success rate was 100%. He probably had a predisposition to, this will end like the other 2 did. I'll be able to get it on the ground, the authorities will deal with it.
But Captain Abate knows this situation is different. Instead of another destination in Africa, the hijackers want to go to Australia. Abate knows that heading out into the open ocean could be a death sentence. Captain Abate decides to get help.
I have to call air traffic control.
Why?
Because they will be asking why we are changing direction.
Tell them you've been hijacked, and tell them where we are going.
Addis area control. This is Ethiopian.
Since the plane is still over Ethiopia, Abate contacts Addis Ababa area control.
Addis, Ethiopian 961. There are passengers in the cockpit.
Say again, 961?
Addis 961. We have been hijacked. We have orders to divert to Australia.
961, Australia, understood. Confirm your souls on board?
Souls on board 175.
961, 175 souls on board.
As the aircraft flies south, Addis Ababa passes the captain over to Nairobi Air Traffic Control.
ATH Nairobi Center. Confirm you are going to land Australia.
Gentlemen, we can't make Australia. We only have 2 hours of fuel. We can't make it Australia. We will make a water landing.
ATH 961. Confirm you can't divert to Mombasa.
They refuse to land anywhere other than Australia, so we have no choice. Except when we finish our fuel, we will land on water.
But with 2 hours of fuel, you can't make Australia. Why don't you land Mombasa?
Okay, just a minute.
Abate connects the air traffic control to the cockpit speakers.
Okay, I just wanted our hijackers to hear what you are communicating.
Okay.
And if you have anything to say, go ahead and tell them.
Okay. I am advising you that with 2 hours of fuel, you will be unable to reach your destination. And probably you would have to land on the water. The solution is for you to land in Mombasa. Go ahead. The hijackers of ATH 961, if you have copied, go ahead.
Waiting to talk, stand by. Do you want to talk to them? Okay, they say they don't want to talk. They're not willing to negotiate on any terms.
Confirm they are ready to land in the ocean and drown. Do you have another alternate aerodrome? Please advise.
I have no alternate aerodrome. Sir, I'm in a very tight corner.
Enough talk. We will not negotiate. That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
They said follow our instruction. If you don't, we'll blow the airplane up. That's it.
Ethiopian 961, Nairobi Control, do you read?
There would be no further communications between the aircraft and air traffic control. An hour has passed since the beginning of the hijacking. No one knows exactly what's going on in the cockpit. For the rest of the passengers and crew, the flight has settled into an uneasy routine.
There's a lot of time people were just whispering, and we were trying to figure out where we're going, where they're taking us, what's going to happen. And at least the people I was sitting next to, we thought that we would go from airport to airport and there would be negotiations and finally we would be released.
We went generally south, and there was an eerie, edgy, nervous calm. Nobody's talking much. People are in their own little individual worlds.
With only a fraction of the fuel needed to get to Australia, Abate decides to defy the hijackers. Without their knowledge, he continues south instead of east towards Australia.
I started following the African coastline because in case anything happens, we'll have a place to ditch or land safely because most of the cities are by the coastline.
But with a glance out of the window, the hijackers suddenly realize they've been tricked.
I still see land. Turn the plane!
Now Captain Abate has no choice. He turns his plane east over the open ocean. As the ocean unfolds below him, the captain begins forming another plan.
I had no chart nearby because it was on the co-pilot side. So I had a small atlas. So I took out that atlas and I saw the Comoros Island.
Nestled between the African continent and the island of Madagascar is their only hope, the Comoros Islands. A remote holiday playground in the Indian Ocean.
I had no idea what that place was. I never heard of the word Comoros before. I just headed towards it. It was a guess.
The Comoros Islands are his last chance to land safely.
We just sat and sat for hours. I tried to read the newspaper but couldn't concentrate on it because I was nervous. I wondered how much extra fuel we had because the rule of thumb is you have enough for the alternative airport and then they're supposed to have an extra 45 minutes of fuel beyond that. So roughly 3 hours or so of fuel they had to have. And so after we'd flown 3 hours, I began to get nervous.
Suddenly, an alarm breaks the tense silence in the cockpit. It's a warning that the plane has less than 30 minutes of fuel left.
I need to tell the passengers.
There's no need.
You know what I'm going to tell them? It's out of my control. The aircraft is going to crash.
You wanna die?
We're going to die anyway.
So, shall we kill you? No more talking.
With almost no fuel, Abate decides to make his stand.
We came over the island. By then fuel was running out. I decided, no, we should not go any further than this one. And I started circling that area.
But how can he convince the hijackers to let him land? He'll have to find an answer soon, or Flight 961 will crash into the sea. Once again, alarms sound. One engine is now completely out of fuel. It's shutting down. Captain Abate is quickly running out of time.
With the airplane being at 39,000 feet in cruise flight, the airplane is not going to run out of gas with each engine simultaneously. There'll probably be a bit of a lag, which in this case there was. The right engine stopped functioning first,